I've got a
just
full cup.
Drink
Someone's
what you
gonna
can.
be vibrating
No,
right
it's decaf.
Oh! Then I'll have it all. That's
Okay.
the only reason I wanted a little, because I've already had my quota of coffee
Yeah,
for today.
okay.
Can you tell? Hi, David Gane. Hi, everyone.
Are we starting already?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, we've been starting for like 3 minutes or something.
Yeah, you just I wasn't ready, so.
Oh, are you ready now?
Well, sure.
Are we ever really ready?
Never.
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 Hi, everyone.
Hi,
I'm Angie Cunios, and this is...
David Gane.
Yes. And we are Cunios and Gane, writing partners in crime. I've been practicing.
Awesome.
Thank you. I always struggle with that. I don't know why. Yes. So, this is the Cunios and Gane show.
Yes. And what do we do?
We talk about writing
Oh, I gotta move head already.
and our books. We talk about who we are and things we love.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do we want to get right into what we love?
Sure. What do we love today, Anne?
Today we love
We are eating
the 13th Avenue Food and Coffee House on 13th Avenue
in Regina.
in Regina. If you want to get a hold of them, Veghead. Although Dave
Veghead.
there's no vowel beside the G.
I know, but I don't think it.
It's like vegan.
It's like a short form of vegetable.
Maybe it's a short form of vegan.
Then you should be calling it Veghead.
Is it vegan or vegan?
I don't know.
Is it bagel or beagle?
Bagel or beagle?
No, some people say bagel. Bagel.
Yeah, that's no.
Right? I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So, back to the food, our breakfast snack.
Okay, so what did you get?
I got myself a...
Oh, that's me.
Yes. I got myself
you got me both?
Well, we're going to share that one day.
No, we aren't.
This is how the
So you're
relationship
going to do that?
works.
I gotta get a napkin.
Yes. I have a very delicious, and I think my friend Trish Taylor, Beth, look at this, candy ginger snap. Delicious.
And so which one am I sharing with you?
The
Which
white one.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of the chocolate. I'll eat the chocolate. I mean, let's face it, I'll eat anything.
It's very
jammy.
messy and jammy. So
I know.
Okay, so I made a bit of a mess, but it's a jam chocolate.
And it's vegan.
And it's vegan, so yeah.
But delicious.
It's vegan.
It's vegan. Yes. Yes, it is.
So, yeah, I got a big mess. Oops. Made a big
clunk on beside our microphone.
My cookie clunked. I don't know why.
That was awesome.
That was
so that's
ridiculous.
our snack of the week, which is super awesome. If you've ever been to 13th Avenue Coffee House, it's been around, gosh, forever, since like the early 90s, which shows how old we are. And it's a great place for vegan food. I'm just a little plug there. They don't know that I'm doing this, but I love going there.
These are never sponsored. But if you want to start sponsoring us, let us know.
Really, or buy our book. Hey,
Just
13th
give us
Avenue
free
people.
food. That's all I care about. Or beer or hot coffee or
anything.
Yeah.
Even your t-shirts.
We'll talk about your...
We'll wear your clothes.
Wow, you're really getting it.
Sure.
Okay.
Right?
Speaking of clothes, we are wearing our green. You guys get it the day after, but it is St. Patty's Day today.
It is.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, so we both, but they're kind of subdued green. We're actually matchy-matchy. I kind of like it.
Are we?
It's like some costume person put us in order here, which really doesn't ever happen.
We have no one running this show. There's no one behind the camera.
There's no one.
Well, my daughter does set us up and then she leaves. Now, she doesn't even run the show for us.
No, she just goes away.
My sister has said that she will, if she was here, she'd be running the show. She would keep us on track.
You know, let me just pose something. I think we did have that one viewer who wanted to be here. I think we could have a viewer a week. If we could organize it with their schedule.
If people wanted to.
And they could sit there and make sure we're framed right and have part of our snacks. We'd share. Well, I'll share my snack. I'm not forcing you to share anything, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So if you're interested...
But the trouble is like, even today's show, I sent the message to you last night at 8 o'clock or whatever and said, hey, let's do the show.
Right.
So...
well, whatever.
They have to be willing to go with last minute.
Yes, and because it's kind of how we roll sometimes.
Usually.
Yes, it's true. Alrighty, time for a bite of ginger snap. I love the ginger.
Let me finish chewing.
Oh.
So I don't have a full mouth.
So I'm going to wait. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. So that's our food, and that's our locale, and this is us. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We are up to... What are we up to? We are trying... Can I talk about this? We're trying to find a location for our launch party. Okay. You know how last week I was like, it's not that big a deal, Dave. It's a bit of a deal.
Did you say that on air? I forget.
You said it.
I did?
You said that it feels like more work than planning
but
a birthday party.
We said this on air.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
I don't remember what's on air and what isn't.
Right, I know. Me too.
It's not even on air. It's like on the show.
Right.
We're recording. It's not a television show here.
Cut it right out if you wanted. Yeah, so right now we're looking for a venue for our launch party. To launch our book for our peeps.
And yeah, it's part of it. The big trouble is that we don't have a big budget.
Right.
So that limits us. If we had a huge budget, it would be wonderful.
Although we do have another conflict, which is that because we write young adult novels currently,
yes,
we can't just go anywhere because there's like restrictions with the law that you have to be of age to enter some places.
And we've had some good deals offered to us, but we can't go there.
Because some of our teen readers can't come.
And then the other thing is, because our books have two boys who like donuts, a lot of places don't want to bring in donuts from outside because we wanted like specialty donuts or something like that. And, and that has caused us problems as well.
Sorry about the mic. Sorry if anybody heard
a rumble?
Some kind of a scratching sound?
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, so a part of our trouble is us. Yeah, it is good.
The coffee.
The donuts. Yeah, no. Yeah. But I mean, the donuts were cheap and have a small budget, and the teenagers. So
right. So there's a couple of challenges there.
But if you see this and you're like, hey, have you considered this place?
Oh my gosh, please help us.
Yeah.
Do you have a suggestion? Let's hear it.
We're trying to keep a low budget, so yeah. I don't want to say the number. I'd prefer it to
like reasonable.
Yeah, be reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever that might be, it's relative. However, so that's
we're gonna end up at Chuck E. Cheese. You're like, oh well, they do serve beer there.
I'm not going to say the rest of my thought because
okay.
I'll tell you offline after.
All right.
Or off video. So that's kind of what's happening right now.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure that out. And the clock is ticking. We have less than a month now. Release date is planned for April 14th, April 15th. We'd prefer April 14th for the party and everything like that. But yeah.
And then we have some book signing gigs that are coming up after that.
Yes, we've got a few lots. So
yes, we interrupted our show.
We just had like I don't know if I'm going to cut it or what we're going to do, but my sister just decided to give me a phone call, tried to FaceTime, and since she is one of the viewers on this show, it's all her fault that we have that moment in our show.
Way to go, Judy.
Yeah, way to go. I almost wish, I should have paused the show and just texted her and told her she ruined the show. So, she's the reason why this show is running long now.
Why is she the reason?
Because she interrupted, now we're talking about her.
Extra few minutes of dialogue.
It's all her fault. So
back to the original topic, Judy.
Yeah. So, yes, we've got our calendar. We've got some times filled in. I think they are on the website. If you go to events, you'll see our calendar, and you can choose if you want to look at months or what do you call it? Agenda, I think is the form.
Yeah, so
and
if
that
you
gives you a rundown.
Come and see us at a book signing.
Please check us out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's our release party. Book 3 is on its way. Well, not on its way. It's being printed now, and we should be getting
End of the month.
End of the month, I think.
Which is on its way.
Kind of. Yeah. And we're getting there.
Yeah.
Really close. Mm-hmm. And then what else is there?
Well, we were sort of working on book 4.
Yeah, we've kind of had a pause because book 3 is kind of taken over.
Which happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's only so much time I can get with you in the day. So.
And here we go, calling the book 1, 2, and 3 again. Wow, ladies and gentlemen.
It's all your fault. So book 3 is Wolf in Shepherd's Clothing. I just threw you under the bus. Book 3 is Wolf in Shepherd's Clothing. Yay! Buy that book.
Yes.
And if you haven't bought Shepherd's Watch, which is the sequel to
Along Comes a Wolf.
Along Comes a Wolf, which is book 2, or Along Comes a Wolf is book 1. Shepherd's Watch is book 2.
Can you flash them up there?
No,
okay.
I'm tired of the flashing.
I think it's fun. It feels magical.
Okay. I should do like the spin in and spin out. I don't know
Can
if I
you
know
do
how to
that?
do that. I'm not very good with those little effects. So
Wow. Well,
There
you
we
always
go.
wow me with the things that you do. So there's where we are
anyways.
with Along Comes a Wolf, Shepherd's Watch. And if you've read Along Comes a Wolf, you should read Shepherd's Watch because it's such a good story.
And we've got deals. So originally we were going to do like you get 3 books with free shipping. Now we've just simplified it and said 50. If you spend $50 on our website, you get
Free
free
shipping.
shipping. So that will hopefully make more sense.
That's for out-of-towners.
Yes, and I'm working on. I'm playing with some ideas for people from the United States.
Oh.
Actually, no. That is for anyone who wants shipping.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's for anyone who wants shipping. If you
If you
happen
live in
to,
Regina and you don't want to drive here,
well, we are going to have pop-up shops
Okay.
over the year or this year,
Right.
and we're going to be at the Cathedral Arts Festival with a booth, so people can come there, and we'll probably have some deals. Wink, wink. For people who want to buy from there. Plus, we've got all the books in the chapters and McNally's.
yes.
And you can, I'm sure there's, and then we have a book release. Hopefully we're going to have a public book release, but we also are going to have book signings. So you can show up there and buy our books.
Yeah.
There's lots of opportunities to buy our books
Yes,
in
there is.
town
Yes.
and in Saskatoon. So
Yes.
we want to go to other places like Winnipeg and Calgary and do book signings, but they don't want us yet.
They will eventually. They're going to be
Hopefully.
knocking on our door soon enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So that's Along Comes a Wolf,
That's our life.
Shepherd's Watch, Wolf in Shepherd's Clothing, and our magical book 4 title TBA.
Well, no, we're calling it SC.
Okay.
Remember?
I know, but... I know.
Okay. Why don't we do some Q&A?
Q&A.
Can you please send us questions?
Yeah.
At Facebook, on our
Any
blog,
questions?
Twitter. Yeah, just
Any.
ask anything from us.
Oh, I'm digging. Do you want to...
You can do it.
All right. I'm going to take this one that's pulling. Number 8. It does
What is
not...
the question?
Number
14.
We're still looking for 13, hey?
Yeah. I feel like we've missed it, but...
Have you two ever disagreed about something when it came to a character or plot of the book?
I feel like we wrote this question. Okay.
Maybe we did.
So, do you want to start this one?
Yeah, we would disagree.
Yeah. And there we go. Done.
Next.
Okay, no. Plot or character about the book. Okay, well, there's the one example from Along Comes a Wolf where we disagreed how Tony would pick up his girlfriend, his future girlfriend.
Yeah, he's at a party.
Yeah, he's at a party, and I think you wrote the version, and then I disagreed with it, and I did a different version, and then you were like, no.
Yeah, it was way too schmarmy.
Yeah, and then we kind of came to a balance.
Yeah, where we included part of what you wanted, and they said, what if we add X? And I said, yes, okay, I'm cool now, it's good.
But we tend to agree, but when we disagree, it's because we haven't found the balance yet, right? And then we kind of dig in, and then...
Yeah, and then we're always happier after the negotiation. It's always better than the first idea with the disagreement or the,
The one that comes to mind that we never... I don't know how to describe this one. So in Wolf in Shepherd's Clothing, there's a line at the very, very end that I wanted... It was one way. I disagreed with it, and you disagreed with it. You gave your option, and I disagreed with it because I felt it was...
Oh, yeah!
It was...
Oh, yeah.
We were past that point.
Yes.
Yours was... It felt too formal, but then the dialogue had kind of moved on to an emotional level, so then it felt too rigid. And I disagreed with it and disagreed with it, and Heather agreed with me that it wasn't the right thing. And I think we came up to an agreement in the end that we were fine with. But
you slept on it.
But then I slept on it, and I'm like, yeah, I think Andrew's right. But I always find it interesting because I don't know, I never know how you feel when we disagree.
Oh, I'm good.
Because usually we're in separate places.
Yeah.
We never do it over the phone.
And
we never do it one-on-one.
Right. We're generally texting, and, the tone of texting and all that, goes on, and you're not really ever sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm always... I swear a lot at you.
Like when I'm not in the room?
Yeah. I'm like, come on, Ange. Why aren't you seeing this?
Yes.
I do a lot of that. And sometimes you do...
Do you want to see what it looks like for me? On my side, I'm going to reenact it.
No. Oh, I don't want you to tell.
I'm just going to show what it looks like when I get a text from you where we're disagreeing.
Okay. Oh, so there is a bit of emotion in there.
Yo! It's hardly escalated.
Well, you sigh.
Well, I mean, it could be. Well, what if I got a great text? Hey, Andrew, got the book deal.
But sometimes
I make small noises. Who knew?
But the other trouble about that is that you sometimes text, and that is...
My texting is terrible? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, because it doesn't translate. It doesn't make... Like, you'll leave ... and so then I'm waiting for what is the trailing off thought.
I know. I've been scolded by many people about my triple dots. I've stopped using them.
Have you?
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, what does that mean? Where are we going with that?
Right.
And then I don't know. Or you'll say, and sometimes your you'll say that when we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Where you'll be like,
I
and it's
ponder.
because but it's also because you disagree with it, but you don't have a better answer, right?
Well, I'm pondering.
I know.
Yeah.
But then that doesn't help answer the question sometimes.
But I don't, right, but I want to process it.
Yes.
Right.
But
so
sometimes I also
I can see how that
like,
would be frustrating.
we need the answer and move on. We've dragged out this question too long, sort of thing.
Sometimes,
right?
but I always, when there's time, yeah. I'm not disagreeing with any of what you're saying. I'm like, and now we're agreeing.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
So, yeah, there's been... Yeah, I also talk to your sister about it all the time, about, what is your mindset? What are you saying?
For me.
Are you explaining yourself?
You're getting her to speak Cunyo's...
No, she doesn't understand your words.
Either? She doesn't understand me either? I'm misunderstood. It's fine, I don't care.
Yeah.
Really? So then what happens? It's like the Gane household is like, oh my God, Angie Cunios. And Cunios is sitting over at her house going, I'm a very happy human. It's okay. I don't know what to say, Dave. I'm sorry.
I just want an answer.
Well, and I tried my very best to give them to you. I do try my very best to give them to you when I can, just so you know I'm not being a jerk. I'm like, if I send them and sit on it for 3 days, that'll be awesome. I'm breaking them down. That's not what happens.
No, I don't ever think that.
Okay, good. just clarifying. So yeah, for sure we have conflicts, but I think we both agree that our job is to write a good story.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, if there's something that I'm like, yeah, not in love with that, move along, who cares? Then whatever, right? There's never been something so... Like, if it's really important, I dig my heels in. I'm just running through
I'm just pouring coffee, so I don't want people thinking that you're peeing out a frame or something.
It's a pantless party. That would be super weird.
That would be so weird. I think everyone can see.
Dave's pouring coffee.
Yeah.
So we're all safe. Can we see how low? I don't know how low we go. So one more question.
Thank goodness, because we're running long already.
Oh. That's an interesting question.
Okay.
If you were writing as an independent, what would you be writing about? Like if you know how the band breaks away from the band and all the musicians go do their own thing, make their own albums? Mm-hmm. Like that. Genres, passions, or interests. So if you were writing as an independent, what would you be writing about? Genres, passions, or interest? What would you write about, David Gane? Boop.
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
There have been a couple of ideas that I pitched at you that you haven't been enthusiastic about, so I would consider those.
Because I'm like, I don't want to do that teamwork. Like, I don't want to co-write with you on that topic.
No. Well, no,
you
you don't seem interested in the idea that I pitched to you.
So then you would just do it on your own.
That I would probably consider doing it on my own. But then again, like, give it a couple of years and you may be there, right?
I'm curious. Will you tell me later what they are?
Yeah, for sure.
Great.
I
can't even recall right now.
I still think it's a story that I would really like to work with you on. So, and then, see, for me, it's interesting because I've been going through the blog and changing it, moving it from the old blog to the new blog. And so I've been seeing all these old posts that we did. And I find it interesting because the one that I came across was when I was working on my own, and then I realized I wanted to work with you on a book. And so I know that my stuff is always a lot darker. It's not as fun. I don't think people don't want to read it as much.
Because it's intense and serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get a little wrapped up in little tiny details, and unless you do a careful read of it, you don't notice it, stuff like that. Like there's those kind of details in our book, but they're not the same way.
It's a different tone.
It's a very different tone.
Okay.
And so I turn to you for a reason. So I know there's that, but yeah,
it was nice. Actually, that was really nice.
Okay.
He's like, awkward.
Whatever.
No, for real. I think that's good.
But I also like using you. I like bouncing ideas off of you because usually are one of those filters to, are we actually am I on the right path? Or
right.
Whatever. This actually goes really good with the disagreeing things, right?
Right.
I would have chosen one thing and then you say no to it. And so then I'm like, okay, what is the other way? And so then I find
another way.
That way. And it's usually the right choice.
And I think because, I just got goosebumps. Whew. I think because we're so different, like we are very different people, that we can present from very different angles. Like one concept is like, can you imagine us on an improv team? Sweet Jesus. But like there's very different views, like reflections on what's going on around us, right? And our responses to it for the most part. However, when tragedy strikes, I don't know why I thought of this. When 9/11 happened, I was off somewhere. And the first person I phoned was Dave.
Yeah.
It was before cell phones and all that good stuff. I didn't have a cell phone, and I was at a teacher conferencey thing, internship seminar, and I think I had a boyfriend at the time, but I just Dave was like family. He was the one that I actually reached out to.
I feel sorry for the boyfriend who's like,
I don't have any. No, we're good. No, sorry for the boyfriend.
Okay.
But anyhow, so there's like that connection too, even though like we're different and we know that we approach things and the world and our lives in different ways. I think there's still that kind of pull, obviously, because here we are in this co-writing company together.
Yeah, even though you drive me crazy when I disagree with you.
Yeah.
Notice how I flipped that.
I did. Actually, that was kind of awesome.
What? I know, I always say that in my head, is that I know I'm frustrated with you a lot about certain things, right?
Sure.
But then I'm like, but I made this choice, and I gotta commit to it, and
we
stay
signed
with
papers and everything.
It's legal.
I was having a chat with our attorney, our high-priced American attorney last night. He gave me a call to see how things were going.
Okay.
He's the one who did our contract. I'm going to shout out to Kevin Johnson, in case you watch this, Kevin Johnson.
Our partnership agreement.
Yes, yeah. So you signed. You signed on the dotted line, so we're stuck.
Well, and then also, I lost my thought. Never mind. Okay. Well, and I also know, and I'm going to kind of bring it back to the question, is I know that you have a couple of story ideas that don't interest me to write. And I'm fine you going off and doing them and stuff like that.
However, I'm going to interrupt. I'm sorry. I do think when I do those, because I will do those, I will.
You want me to read them?
I want you to be there because
edit.
you call me out on things. I had you read a short story I wrote, and you did.
I tore it apart.
Not in a way that was offensive to me. Like
my usual tearing apart of ideas,
which was great. And I mean, you read through it and you made suggestions and you offered changes, just like a good editor does. But there was one paragraph, and you said, "This is dirty laundry, Angie, and you don't need to include this in the story." And I was like, "Oh." That was the real call out, where you were like, it's unnecessary to say this one paragraph. It doesn't make you look like a good human. And I was like, those weren't your words, but you did say it was dirty laundry and you don't need to do that. I remember that specifically. So when I do that project, I mean, you might not want to, and I'll have to find somebody else.
I'm going to be so exhausted with everything else going on.
But when I do that, I was
exhausted as it is.
Because you had even said once that we went to a book talk, I think it was in Moose Jaw or someplace, and then because everyone tends to write a lot of memoir type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you said if you ever do something like that, I'm going to make sure, and I didn't take this in, I liked that you said it. You said, I'm going to make sure it's not one of those. And I was like... Cool. And I good.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's like a level of storytelling that I think, try to produce. And you've walked me through it because you're the one who started it. So I just am behind you, learning as I go and working beside you as we build story. But yeah. So when those projects happen for me, I hope you're around. I hope you're not sick of me yet. So yeah. Did you know what genre you're going to hit though? Like, can you answer that?
Kind of reflecting on the things that I write and what I've written in the past and what I enjoyed reading, find interest in, and my stomach is gurgling. I'm hoping it's not coming on the camera. I do like suspense, thriller, mystery, horror. Like those are my favorite genres to go to. And, there's some literary fiction that I really, really, really like. That I know I would go to, but even a lot of those would be adventure and stuff like that, right? So, I'm just looking at my list of books across the way, and I'm like,
you're over there.
And then there's like the drama of people holding a lot or secrets into themselves and stuff like that, which in a weird way is kind of. It's about the mystery of the person, right? And unpacking it and showing what are the little clues that hint towards the inner part of them. So, yeah, I think I'm already writing it. It's just I'm not doing it as deeply as I tend to do it, and I'm adding a bit of enjoyment and levity and action to the stories that I'm telling, where I wouldn't have done that previously.
Cool.
So I do really want to do another horror with you.
Yes.
As a book, because I'm curious.
Oh.
Yeah. And you don't like horror, which is funny, but I...
What do you mean, as a genre, as a book to read?
Yeah, you're not a big fan of horrors, but you write them all the time.
They scare me.
Yeah.
I read one horror. It's called The Entity, and it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fast reader, and I read this thing in probably 3 or 4 days. I was married at the time, and I was so horrified, good job on the book, whoever wrote it, I don't even remember, to stop reading and be alone in my apartment before my husband came home, that I would just read till he came home because I was too scared to put the book down. And
that seems counterintuitive.
Right, but it was just too scary to stop. I don't know if that even makes sense, but it was like if I stopped reading, then I'd be alone in the space by myself.
Yeah.
With my thoughts and the entity. Seriously, it was like so scary. But I would like to do that because we did a couple of scripts that were horrors that I loved. And
the one that I want to do with you, which is the one project that you were kind of not interested in at the time, is a lot about a man and a woman sort of relationship. So I think that is the other reason I would like to do it.
Oh, right, because here we are.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. I think we're done those questions, right?
I didn't answer.
Didn't you? No. I answered for you. Okay, you kind of answered because you do have this. You talked about the projects you want to do, but genre?
It would be women books for sure.
Okay,
like it'd be under the women's section, and I don't know if it would be like chick lit, but not your traditional chick lit. There'd be something else around it, and I think they would still be light, even though there'd be like serious subject matter.
Yeah,
but there'd still be that lightness to them, because I think that's what I bring to the table.
She does.
I do.
Which you do, but you don't, because you're the one who wants to go into dark corners.
That's true.
A lot.
That's true.
And I'm like, really? No.
Yeah. True.
Anyways.
True. Kate, there we go. Answer done. Moving along.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Awesome.
So, let's get our books out.
Books.
But you know what? I realized, I'm sitting here looking at my books, and I realized, I'm going to just mention it. I'm going to flash it up on the screen. One of the books that I still hold as, because what I tend to do is I have all my bookshelves and I get rid of most of the books that I have. But ones that I think I'll look back on or read again or whatever, I tend to keep around. And I'm seeing A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking.
Oh,
so I'm
God
like,
rest his soul. He just passed away.
Yeah, so I was like, I probably should have brought that one up, but I'm going to do a different one today. But let's just do a little mention of that one.
Stephen Hawking?
Yeah.
Yeah, great idea.
That's our extra one.
Yeah.
Extra one. Yeah.
I think I like that choice.
Okay.
Cool.
You start.
Me start. I will start. Lord Almighty. Apparently I haven't had enough coffee. So in my excitement to get here this morning, and I was pretty pumped and I was up early.
As per usual.
I am. I like it. Which is ironic because at the beginning I was like, vlogs? I don't know, Dave. I was texting Dave, do you want this or that for the snacks? Because I was going to go pick them up, and I was, and got ready, and here I am, and I sit down and I look at the books.
And you realize you forgot. I
forgot a book. Fortunately, Dave has a book I own as well that I do love. It is called The Artist's Way. And I think there's a few of them in the series. I think I have 3 of the series. Vein of Gold and Waking World. Anyhow.
Oh, okay. And then there's The Artist's Way for Work as well that I used to have. But.
Such a great book for creative process and getting unstuck and working. And one of the biggest lessons out of here is probably the morning pages.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people still hold on to that over everything else.
Right.
Like, Brian Koppelman, who has a great podcast, I'm going to say, called The Moment. He still does them religiously,
right?
And he does billions, and he did oh man, I hate it when like
the blank happens.
Yeah, he's written quite a few.
Ryan, say his name again.
Brian Koppelman.
Brian Koppelman. Okay.
Yeah. He actually has a writing partner as well.
Oh,
and
look at Brian go.
Yeah, and he started, I think, a little later in life, which I think is interesting as well. Because I always think we started a little later as well, and I always like looking at those kind of people who do that. Anyways, continue on about The Artist's Way. So
anyhow, I did see this. I do love it, and Dave's book
worn.
Like, it's in pieces. He's really, really used his. Mine is. I was a little more gentle with mine. I did write in the margins of mine as well, but. Wow, this book's been used.
Yeah, and I actually finished it. So, like, I did the 13 weeks. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
yep.
And I know a lot of people start but then don't finish, and I think it's good. For me, I will say that the morning pages, this is actually counter to us saying our call-outs, but the morning pages, after a while, I found was becoming busy work, that I wasn't doing the actual writing work of like scripts. So when I did, because of morning pages, I knew I could write 3 pages a day. Mm-hmm. But once I decided to commit to writing those 10 scripts in 1 year, I had to get rid of the morning pages to focus on that.
Other, right.
So,
and for me, the morning pages, I was doing it intuitively.
Already, right?
Like I'll sometimes write at the end of the day to clear the day.
Yeah.
And then I'll write in the morning to start the day. So yeah, and I think somebody had asked what's your rituals when you write. And one of them was I have a coffee and I write in my journal before I can actually do my actual writing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's a very good book, and if you are curious about creative process and getting yours started, that would be the book.
Awesome. And I'm recommending How to Read a Book, which is a good book on learning how to read a book. What I wish I had found this book probably back in high school.
Oh.
And I actually, the reason I brought it out was because I was helping my son. He does they're dictates. So what is that, spelling test in French?
I think so.
English. But really, they're not really spelling tests. They're read a paragraph, highlight the words that you don't understand, and then like how do you comprehend each paragraph and everything like that. And one of the things is he's supposed to talk about what is the subtopic of this paragraph, and then what are the details that led you to come up with that answer as to what the subtopic is. And in this, they talk a lot about how do you take a book, something that you've never read before, and read through it quickly so you can find out if this is the book that's going to give you the information for the topic that you're focusing on. Which is a little bit cool. It kind of teaches you a little bit of speed reading, but speed reading isn't
the same thing.
It's more like how do you get as much information into your like how do you scan a book really quickly and then know if it's the right thing. And so I was teaching Pete how to scan through the paragraph really quickly so that he could pull out enough information to understand what the paragraph was about so that he could use that to answer the questions, right?
I borrowed this.
Yeah, so I wish I had that back in university when I used to read all. Yeah, I actually highlighted stuff.
He's been using this book.
When I highlight something, it means I'm keeping it forever and never giving it away.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool.
But yeah, if I had that in university, if I had it in high school, I know that I would have moved through my work a lot faster and more efficiently. So, cool. Because I think that's the trouble about when you're given an assignment and they say, hey, read these 20 pages and these 20 pages and read this book and everything like that. When you're doing theory classes, there's no way you can like read it all and make sense of it all,
right,
and everything like that.
Right.
So you have to be more efficient, and this is a good way to be more efficient about your
cool.
work. And he also talks about they talk about different layers of reading. So there's the skim, and then there's the deep read, and then there's the deep read making connections to other books and copious notes and stuff like that. So yeah,
so
it's
that's
fantastic.
Awesome. I like when I learn stuff. Thanks, Dave.
There you go.
There we go.
Right.
Book of the week.
Do you want to call a shout out to the viewer of the week for yourself?
You
don't have
this
any?
Week.
Let's give it to Judy, my sister.
Judy Gane.
who interrupted the show. Thanks. That was awesome.
You're a viewer of the week.
Yay. And because she wants to run the show.
Yeah, that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there we go.
She's our viewer of the week.
Okay, so you can find us at cunosandgane.com on the web. That's where you can buy our books. We also have links on there for our Twitter, our Instagram, our Facebook, this YouTube channel. If you're watching it on Facebook, I guess it's not, I always forget that we post YouTube and Facebook on separate channels. It takes forever to upload these things.
Ask us questions at #AskCunosandGane.
Yes, you can leave it in the comments as well below if you're on the blog reading it, or on the website, because now I'm not calling it a blog anymore. I'm calling it a website because it's very much a website now.
Yes.
So, but we have a Cunos and Gane section that you can find. And that's it.
That's it.
We did it.
We did it.
Another show.
This was number 11.
11, yeah.
Wow, they're just zipping along.
And we had planned on doing 13, so at some point we're going to have the discussion. Are we going to go beyond 13? Are we going to take a hiatus for a bit? I thought this is season 1 in my mind.
Season 1. That's
And
awesome.
if we make it to 13, then we'll decide if we're doing season 2.
Maybe, our 3 viewers can let us know if we should. I'm kidding. There's more than 3.
So, awesome. Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend.